Welcome back to another 5 minutes to a better mix tutorial where we're looking at 31 mixing tips in 31 days. This is Graham, your host from the recordingrevolution.com, and today I've got a tip for you on how to control some of your guitars if you have really heavy guitars and they're fighting with your vocal. So a lot of times you'll hear a really great rock mix, let's say, where the guitars are really in your face, but when the vocal's there, the guitars seem to be perfectly just out of the way. And then when the vocal disappears, the guitars are right back where they need to be. And it could be a matter of good automation, volume automation, that kind of thing. But here's a trick that can help you keep the guitars at bay every time the vocal is in the mix and then be right back where they need to be without the vocal. And that's by simply using a compressor and a sidechain that's keyed to a vocal input, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not that hard. I'll show you what I've got an example here with a bunch of guitars, and they're all dumping into this guitar aux channel right here called guitars, and then I have a lead vocal right here. Now, let's take a listen to what's going on with the guitars and the vocal as it stands.
Sit down and shut it up. Got so many rules to keep you warm at night. Or do you think they might? You tell me fast, slow, let's go. When is the last time that you heard a song and you just sang along? Don't get too comfortable with keeping control. If you wanna lose yourself, you gotta let it go. You gotta take it from me. There's no way you'd rather be. Don't wanna waste the only chance that I've got.
Okay, so it sounds fine, but the guitars are kind of taking over the vocal a little bit, and here's a quick trick to help that out. Let's grab a compressor on our guitar bus, basically. So this one compressor will affect all the guitars because I have them dumping in here. That's what's great about the aux channel. And then what I want to do is, instead of just setting a compressor setting that will turn down the peaks of the guitars based on how loud the guitars get, I want this compressor to turn down the peaks of the guitars based on the vocal. Okay, now how do you do that? You use a side chain and you use a key input. It's really simple. What I need to do is take this lead vocal here, create a send it to an empty bus. In this case, I have bus 15 as a mono bus that's not being used. And I'm going to bring up the volume to 0. And I'm going to make this a pre-fader send out of preference so that it's always sending the full vocal volume to the compressor. Or in this case, it's not sending it to anything, it's just sending it to that send. Now that we have that in place, what we can do is choose a key input over here on the compressor. If your compressor has a key input, and a lot of them do, look under your buses and look for that same bus, bus 15. That's where I've sent the vocal. That's the input that I want my compressor's keyed sidechain to look at. And then I need to engage that key in the sidechain. So this little button is now telling my compressor to look for my key input, which is bus 15, which is my lead vocal, and that will trigger how and when this compressor compresses. Let's take a listen to see if that worked.
Sit down and shut it up. Got so many rules to keep you warm at night. Or do you think they might? You tell me fast, slow, let's go. When is the last time that you heard a song and you just sang along? Don't get too comfortable with keeping control. If you wanna lose yourself, you gotta let it go. You gotta take it from me. There's no way you'd rather be. Don't wanna waste the only chance that I've got to tell you, bring all your friends. You know this thing never.
So you can see it's doing some gain reduction at about minus 6 dB the whole time the vocal is in. Let me cut over to the end of the chorus where you'll see some compression on the guitars because the vocal's in. And the moment the vocal stops singing, the compressor will stop going really hard and the guitars will come back up in volume.
Never end. Yeah, you'd be stupid not to give it a shot.
So no compression.
I don't care what they say. You don't have to wait until you're good enough to.
And And then it starts compressing the guitars a little bit and ducking them right underneath the vocal just a little bit. And of course, you're going to want to adjust the attack and the release and maybe the threshold just to get the settings perfect so it's not too audible of a change. But as you can see, the compressor will turn down the guitars only when the vocal's singing, and it'll come right back up when the vocal's off. That might help you out, guys. Sidechaining a compressor on your guitars, it's keyed to your lead vocal. Hope that helps. Again, this is Graham at therecordingrevolution.com with 5 minutes to a better mix. I hope to see you on the next video.